This is our channel in YouTube, Instituto Gaudiya Vaishnava de Educação, and the subject is very interesting. ISKCON Guru Female. My intention with this video is to raise some reflections on the issue of male gurus in ISKCON and to examine what the Vedas, especially the books of Srila Prabhupada, say about this subject. Okay, for those who don't know me, my name is Hare Krishna Movement. I have been a member of ISKCON for 26 years and a disciple of His Holiness Srila Prabhupada Swami. I'm also a teacher of Bhakti Shastra and Bhakti Vaibhava in South America and hold a master degree in religious studies from PUC Minas. Currently, I reside at New Jagannath Puri Temple in Zurich, working as a pujari. So we can start with a question. In a society that strives for equality, as is contemporary Western society, nothing is more just than men and women having equal rights. Okay? She are asking about this. So another question regarding this also. Have Western societies managed to achieve a high degree of justice and equality? Since the material world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual world, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an incessant search by the soul for elevated qualities, the great virtues, such as love, justice, peace, freedom, and equality. Everyone knows that such virtues are good in themselves. However, to seek and establish them fully and completely in a society that is situated in a place that is a reflection of the original, where things are relative, temporary, and corruptible, is a mere chimera. We live in a dimension of exploiters and exploited, deceivers and deceived, while such virtues are only realized in a place where people are pure and the nature of the environment is eternal. All civilizations have sought peace, but history is full of wars. They have sought justice, and what we see most is exploitation. They have sought equality, and what we find most is inequality. For that is the nature of this world, Dukkhalayam Ashashatan, as Krishna spoken in Bhagavad Gita. Especially a struggle for equality in this world is thankless because difference will always exist. This is the nature of this world. This is a world of dualities such as black and white, Jews and Muslims, men and women, heterosexuals and homosexuals, right and left. Te Dvandva Moha Nimuktaha. This material world growing from the dualities. So, if one thinks that can achieve equality in this material world, this is impossible because this quality is present eternally in the spiritual world in Vaikuntha. In this world, we have a reflection like this tree in this image. So, if we go to the image, we can touch only the water, not the real tree. Our present society is a society of asuras. This is a very important point because Te Dvandva Moha Nimuktaha, this material world born from delusion, and from this illusion we have a relativism, we have a duality, and the main duality in this material world is saintly persons and demonic persons, yes, especially atheists and theists. This is very important to understand for we get a position in this world. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, "Fools dared me when I descended in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be." Still in Bhagavad Gita, next verse, Mogasha Moga Karmano Moga Jnana Vijetasaha Rakshasinya Surinchaiva Prakritim Mohini Ashritaha. The atheists, the Rakshasas and the Asuras take shelter, Ashritaha, in this Prakritim, this material nature. But what is the nature? What is the essence of this Prakriti, this material nature? Is Mohini, that is illusion. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic views, and that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated. So Krishna describes here the demonic condition, the demonic consciousness. They take shelter on the material nature that is Mohini, that is illusory. As for the society of devotees, opposed to this duality, opposed to this, we have the Vaishnava, the devout society. Mahatmas tumam partha daivim prakritim ashritaha bhajanti ananya manaso yatva bhutadin abhyayam. O son of Partha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. This was verse 13. While non-devout society is deluded through the body due to Maya, devotees take a refuge in the internal potential, in the Vedas, spiritual power of the Lord. Therefore, in terms of consciousness and goals, they are diametrically opposed regarding the Asuras. Since the devotees follow the Shastras, what do these say about women? It's very important. Okay, devotees take shelter in the spiritual nature, and where we have information about the spiritual nature is in the Vedas. The Vedas, the description of the spiritual reality is more complete, is more clear, is more directly. So devotees take shelter, have faith in the Vedas. What the Vedas speak about the women? Sages like Vyasadeva, Parashamuni, and Yajnavalkya commented on Dharma, or the prescribed duties of each individual, the performative role for various members of society in their diverse contexts, Dharma Shastras, or the Srimad Bhagavatam as a synthesis. This is very important. Synthesis and conclusion of all Vedic Shastras. The Siddhanta of all Vedas is the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Amala Puranam brings a conversation between Maharaja Yudhishthira and Narada Muni in 7th canto, which defines the duty and nature of each individual's activities within an Aryan society, devout society, that is, which knows the true value and goal of life and strives to achieve it. So, about these three dharma, the women dharma according to Shastras. The women have basic rights: Matri Bhakti Paraistrishu Patnyamarda Ivatmanaha. Respect all women as if they were his own mother, and he will treat his own wife as the other half of his body. This is a conversation between Prithu and Bhumi, the earth planet, in the form of cow. Even if a woman does commit some sinful activity, no one should place his hand upon her. And what to speak of you, dear king, who are so merciful? The king representative, the god. You are a protector and you are affectionate to the poor. But the women have duties, dharma, in according Vedas. Strinam chapati devanam ta chushu shanukulata tad bandhushu anuvritischa nityan tadvrata dharanam. To render service to the husband, to be always favorable disposed toward the husband, to be equally well disposed toward the husband's relatives and friends, and to follow the vows of the husband. These are the four principles to be followed by a woman described as chaste. Remember, the chaste is the north, is the iconic quality of the women's, the progressive women's. So, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that is the Siddhanta, is the conclusion of all Vedas. So, the 10th canto is like a face of Sri Krishna, is the main portion of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna Lila, Krishna pastimes. In this Krishna Lila, in these pastimes, Krishna so gives support to Dharma. Of course, Krishna is the father of Dharma. Dharma came from Krishna. Krishna is the source of all Dharma, and he explained about these three Dharma in the 10th canto, personally, in first person. Bhartu Shushushanam Strinam Parodharmo. Yes, Krishna gives emphasis here. Parodharma, the transcendental Dharma. Lord Krishna said, "O most fortunate ladies, welcome. What may I do to please you? Is everything well in Braja?" The context of this conversation is Krishna in Vrindavan forest playing his flute, and this attracted the gopis. The gopis abandoned, renunced the father, mother, husband, sons, all things, the morality, the dharmic principles, only for meeting with Krishna in the night in the middle of the forest. So this is a very condemned in the Vedas. But the gopis are transcendental. The gopis are pure devotees. They must elevate Krishna devotees. So the gopis not are ruled by the Vedas, because the gopis are transcendental, are pure spiritual soul. But who's that are in a material body, who's are influenced by the gunas, need follow the Vedic principles, especially Dharma Shastras. Not find you at home. Your mothers, fathers, sons, brothers, and husbands are certainly searching for you. Don't cause anxiety for your family members. The highest religious duty for a woman is to sincerely serve her husband, behave well toward her husband's family, and take good care of her children. Women who desire a good destination in the next life should never abandon a husband who has not fallen from his religious standard. Yes, the dharma, be religious, is the dharma of the man, even if he is obnoxious, unfortunate, old, unintelligent, sick, or poor. Okay, Shiar complained, this is fair, but that was feasible in past ages. Men and women have changed. Does it still apply in nowadays? The challenge of applicability in the present day. So this is Prabhupada purport. In modern terms, the Varna Sankara are the hippies who do not follow any regulative injunctions. Another explanation is that when the population is Varna Sankara, no one can know who is on what platform. The Varnashram system scientifically divides society into 4 Varnas and 4 ashrams. But in Varna Sankara, in nowadays society, there are no such distinctions, and no one can know who is who. This is Prabhupada wonderful described our society, the Western society, the atheist society. So nobody knows what is duty, what is my role in society, who is who. Yes, sometimes women look like men's look like women, because don't have more duty. Everything are together and mixing in Kali Yuga age and nowadays. So this is the Bhu, symbol of represented Dharma. Prabhupada said, the next symptom of the age of Kali is that principles of religion, which are all spotlessly white, like the white lotus flower, will be attacked by the uncultured Shudra population of the age. They may be descendants of Brahmana or Kshatriya forefathers, but in the age of Kali, for want of sufficient education and culture of Vedic wisdom, such a Shudra-like population will defy the principles of religion, and persons who are religious endowed will be terrified by such men. They will declare themselves as adherents of no religious principles, and many isms like feminism and cults will spring up in Kali Yuga only to kill the spotless bull of religion. And what did Prabhupada say regarding this topic about women, about Guru female? Calm down, bro. I will explain in a moment. According to Prabhupada, women can take sannyasa. Kardama Muni followed the Vedic injunction that no one in sannyas life can have any kind of relationship with women. But what is the position of a woman who is left by her husband? She is entrusted to the son, and the son promises that he will deliver his mother from entanglement. A woman is not supposed to take sannyas. So-called spiritual societies concocted in modern times give sannyas even to women, although there is no sanction in the Vedic literature for women accepting sannyas. Otherwise, if it were sanctioned, Kardama Muni could have taken his wife and given her sannyas. The woman must remain at home. She has only 3 stages of life: dependence on the father in childhood, dependence of the husband in youth, and in old age, dependence of the grow-up son, such as Kapila Deva. So this is the famous quote about Prabhupada, about Diksha Guru Female by Srila Prabhupada, so they can be Guru. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj's mother, Suniti, was his Pata Pradarshaka Guru. Pata Pradarshaka Guru means the Guru or the spiritual master who shows the way. Such a Guru is sometimes called Shiksha Guru, although Narada Muni was his Diksha Guru, initiation spiritual master. Suniti, his mother, was the first who gave him instruction on how to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the duty of the Shiksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process. According to Shastric injunctions, there is no difference between Shiksha Guru and Diksha Guru, and generally the Shiksha Guru later on becomes the Diksha Guru. Sunit, however, being a woman, and specifically his mother, could not become Dhruva Maharaj's Diksha Guru. So, a small group try give an interpretation of this statement, then try make hermeneutic about this. But Prabhupada is very clear in this purport. So, for endorsed this, we have the key divisions of Prabhupada instructions that was spoken by Jayadvaita Maharaj. He spoke in books, The Final Order, Universal. Jayadvaita Swami holds that Prabhupada's books are the primer, most authorized teachings intended for the entire world and future generations. Letters are particular, yes, personal, in a specific context way. Letters are often considered by Jayadvaita Swami to be personal instructions for specific individuals in specific circumstances, and the conversations, room conversations, walk conversations, lectures, the contextual dynamic, similar to letters above, conversations are viewed as situational. So when Prabhupada, when he spoke about the sannyasi and guru, these are in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam is universal, is our instruction for the whole society. Is the basis, yes? Books are the basis. And Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita is very important to be a basis of our society, ISKCON society. Religious precepts are diluted over time. Vam parampara praptam imam rajarsha viduhu sakalineha mahata yoganashta parantapa. Yes, the principles of yoga, they are lost. The supreme science was thus received through the chain of the disciplic succession, and the saint king is understood in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. If Lord Krishna is declaring here that the Dharma fades, dissolves like ice caps due to the influence of time, why should we introduce new principles that were not mentioned either in the authorized biographies of Lord Chaitanya, like Chaitanya Bhagavata, Chaitanya Mangal, Chaitanya Charitamrita, or by the more recent acharyas like Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, or the most recently in Kali Yuga, our acharyas like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, even Prabhupada, not mentioned and not had the attitude to give a Guru Female Diksha. So it's very important that we have a reflection about these points. But we have a precedent, so for them who want to install the Guru Female Diksha in ISKCON, we have a precedent in the form of Janava Devi, a precedent in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhasha, Virabhadra Goswami, the son of Janava in Lord Nityananda, was the direct son of Srila Nityananda Prabhu and a disciple of Janava Devi. His real mother was Vasudha. Lord Nityananda had two wives, yes, Vasudha and Janava Devi. In the Ganodesha Dipika from Kavi Karnapur, the wonderful son of Shivananda Sena, he is mentioned as an incarnation of Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. Therefore, Virabhadra Goswami is no different from Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is declared by Srila Prabhupada. And the Gaura Ganodesha Dipika explained in these two verses. Balarama's two wives, Varuni Devi and Revati Devi, appeared during Lord Chaitanya's pastimes as Vasudha Devi and Janavi Devi, the two dear wives of Nityananda, and the daughters of the great personality Sri Suryadasa. Their father, Suryadas, had previously been Maharaj Kakudmi. His body luster made him as effulgent as the sun. Verse 66. Some say that Vasudha Devi is the incarnation of Ananga Manjari, and others say that Janavi Devi is the incarnation of Ananga Manjari. So, Janavi Devi is possible incarnation of Ananga Manjari, the sister of Srimati Radharani, and the incarnation of a wife of Lord Balarama. In truth, both opinions are correct. They are both incarnations of Ananga Manjari. So, imagine the quality of the consciousness of Janava Devi, the level of this devote. So, Prabhupada in a room conversation, San Diego, Prabhupada, if a woman is perfect in Krishna consciousness, just like Janava Devi, Lord Nityananda's wife, she was Acharya. She was controlling the whole Vaishnava community. Acharya Rishi, Lord Nityananda, wife, Janava Devi, she was controlling the whole Gaudiya Vaishnava community. Acharya Rishi, again, do you have references about that in any of your books, Srila Prabhupada? I don't think, but there are many acharyas. Maybe somewhere I might have mentioned. It is not that women cannot be acharya. Generally, they do not become, in very special case. But Janava Devi was accepted as, but she did not declare. So this is an interview with the Professor Joseph T. O'Connell. This is very important to understand the context of this interview. I will read first. Professor O'Connell, is it possible, Swamiji, for women to be a guru in the line of disciplic succession? Prabhupada, yes, Janava Devi was Nityananda's wife. She became, if she is able to go to the highest perfection of life, why it is not possible to be guru? But not so many. Actually, one who has attained the perfection, she can become guru. But man or woman, and this is the nerve point also. Unless one has attained the perfection, Ye Krishna Tattvaveta say Guru Haya. The qualification of Guru is that they must be fully cognizant of the science of Krishna. then he or she can become Guru. Ye Krishna Tattaveta, say Guru Hai. In our material world, is it a prohibition that women cannot become professor? If she is qualified, she can become professor. What is the wrong there? She must be qualified. That is the position. So similarly, if the women understand Krishna consciousness perfectly, she can become Guru. So this have sense. This makes sense. This is interesting. But we need to understand the context of this interview. This Professor Joseph T. O'Connell, he is American, but he is a professor in the Canada University in Toronto. He are together with Motilal and Shivaram. They are religious professors. Yes, they are academic. They are like Indologists. And we know very well the position, the opinion of Srila Prabhupada about the academicists, these PhDs, and Prabhupada not are talking with devotees or for the devout society. Some reflections. Srila Prabhupada went against the Vaishnava tradition in the West by conferring Brahmanic initiation on women and allowing them to enter the altar. When Prabhupada initiated the female devotees into Brahmanic practice, he observed that they were extremely qualified to worship the deities. Furthermore, strategically, if he did not make this concession of his nascent movement, it would not be accepted among Westerners. Many of the devout Prabhus, when they were gurus in the early days of the movement, made many mistakes and did not keep their vows. One mistake does not justify another mistake. For this movement to begin, Prabhupada followed the same example as his spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, that took sannyas, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with the intention of spreading his message. Yes, which is the proposed spreading message. Devotees of the level of Janavadevi, Gangamat Goswamini, Mirabai, and others are very rare. If a devotee is at their level, they will naturally be gurus. Men and women have different natures, psyches, and bodies. Yes, this was analyzed by these great sages like Swayambhuva Manu, Yagyavalkya, Parasharamuni. These sages have reason, these sages. Based on this, the wise men choose the roles of each individual in society. Purity is strength. Purity is the force. If a devotee has the elevated consciousness of these great devotees, naturally they will be accepted as acharyas. What is the need to generalize this institutionally? What is the justification? Pratishta Sukari Vishta. For me, this is a very important point in Vaishnavism, in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Although this is a quote from Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur, Antilila, chapter 3, verses 22 to 27. Although you are most intelligent why did you take sannyas? Sarvabhaum said, O Krishna Chaitanya, you have attained Krishna's mercy and you are most intelligent. So why did you take sannyas? Just consider, what is the use of accepting sannyas? One immediately becomes bound by the ropes of false ego. One who carries a danda considers himself a great person and does not fold his hand before anyone. A sannyasi is not afraid to accept obeisance from such a personality that the Vedas declare the dust of his feet should be respected. False ego is never good. Try to understand the words of Srimad Bhagavatam in this regard. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, chapter 29, verse 16, said, disregarding the ridiculous of one's companions, one should give up the bodily conceptions and its accompanying embarrassment. One should offer obeisances before all, even the dogs, outcasts, cows, and asses, falling flat upon the ground like a rod. This is from Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanatana Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami. The most important thing is to try not to touch the stool of pratistha. All undesirable thing comes from it, even if you have given up everything else. So we want to develop our Krishna identification, but with a position, pratistha, of a guru. Or this is a tramp, or the person that accepts a guru position is very, 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 very elevated. Jivera Swarupa Hai Krishnera Nityadasa. When consciousness is pure, we invariably identify with the spiritual in the most comprehensive way possible. Swadharma, two kinds of Swadharma. But when our consciousness is polluted by the gunas, when I think that I am this body, we need to play our rigid social roles. So, a question, how to apply necessary adaptations to modern times in the process of Krishna consciousness without losing the essence and connection with the Guru Parampara. So, Srila Pataka Maharaj spoke one time in Mayapur. What is the secret? For us to carry out our mission, Prabhupada's mission, is to carry out the mission of our founder Acharya. And we know that for all the subsequent generation of devotees, some of Prabhupada's grand disciples are members of our GPC now. We are already in the endangered species. All of the directly initiated disciples of Srila Prabhupada are going to eventually be in extinction. So we needed to create this culture, our spiritual corporate culture. We are dedicated to carrying out the order of Srila Prabhupada, of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. That is the spiritual culture we are implementing. If everyone maintains that, since we know that Prabhupada's culture was also to fulfill the desires of the previous acharyas, like Gorakshara Das Babaji, Jagannatha Das Babaji, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, satisfy all these previous acharyas, then we are completely linked to the Guru Parampara. That means that we get the full energy coming down from Krishna through the Guru Parampara to all of us. That is what empowers ISKCON, our connection to Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada repeatedly said that Krishna consciousness cannot be spread simple by some material adjustment. It has to be done through empowerment. It has to be done through empowerment. If will ISKCON be divided between Orthodox and heterodox members? No, our philosophical and theological foundation is very, very solid, like a rock. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidingvina Akantiki Hare Bhaktir Utpatoyaiva Kalpati. It's from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami. That they have a vision, know the purport of this verse. And this verse came from the Shrutis, the original Vedas, came from the Upanishads. Yasya deve para bhakti, yata deve tata gurau, yata deve tata Srila Prabhupada, tasyaite katita hyarta prakashante mahatmanaha. Srila Prabhupada Patita Pavan Jagat Guru Ki. So we achieved the end of our exposition. Thanks so much for the patience, tolerance, and I'm so sorry by my terrible English. But I hope that you have a nice day, or a good night, or a good morning. Hare Krishna e ciao. Bye bye.
Krishna, Hare Krishna.